Tyler, Angel and Ariel already talked a little bit about the turnovers, but just what is your perspective on specifically what happened in the third quarter in terms of that?
Yeah, they just they extended their pressure and we didn't handle it well. And that's really all it comes down to for tonight. And when you turn it over that much, it puts a lot of pressure on your defense. I thought when we guarded in the half court, I thought we had some really good defensive possessions throughout the game. Where we struggle was in transition. We give up 20 in transition, and a large part of that is due to our turnover. So I spoke about it before the game. It feels like it's been redundant. Talked about it pretty much every game of how important it is to take care and value the basketball. And when you don't, you have nights like this. So um, frustrating for sure.
Do you feel like the source of those turnovers is just like individual mental errors? Is it something in the system of not creating, like enough space off ball? What do you think that is?
Yeah, I think certain turnovers you can live with when you're trying to make when you're trying to make the right play for your teammate. Those aren't the ones that bother me. It's really the ones that's due to a lack of movement or just kind of careless turnovers. And so those are the ones that put us in a bind. And credit to Washington, they capitalized on just about every one of them.
We'll go Carly.
Marsh, we've just kind of seen that the third quarter has been the collapse and the catalyst of what has led to these losses. Is there anything that you can pinpoint as to what is happening in the third quarters just throughout the season that's leading to these late game not closing out?
No, I think it's been a little different. I think tonight we started off with low energy in the third quarter. I think in games in the past we've had high energy in the start of the thirds, and then we've struggled to finish third quarters. And so uh, today I'm not sure. I think that I'll have to go back and watch the film. But I think overall um, we didn't have the energy consistently, and I think the turnovers took a toll on us throughout the game and started to affect us on the defensive end and whatnot. And so. We just got to do a better job of staying poised through those moments and handling that throughout the game.
Go Jason, second row.
Tyler, what's going through your mind during that as you're watching your team throw away a 16-point lead and the energy's not what it should be?
Yeah, I don't know if throwing away is the term that I would use, but I understand your point. I think that you in the moment you're trying to stop the bleeding. You don't have really time to get frustrated and whatnot. You try to keep your team in it and try to adjust in the best way possible to be able to take care of the ball and be able to defend when necessary. I thought we got some important stops down the stretch that we weren't able to finish the possession and get offense, and we gave up some offensive rebounds, which were crucial at pivotal points in the game. And so, uh, yeah, it's tonight it was about handling their pressure and it was about capitalizing down the stretch and take advantage when we were able to get stops. So we weren't able to do that.
We'll go to Mike and then Christian.
Coach Mike Mahatano, WRMN. Of course, every game is important, but this one is also a Commissioner's Cup game. Does the preparation or the strategy change going into this one? And does that loss hurt a little bit more?
No, I think when you're 3-7, now 3-8, I think you prepare for every game the same way. And I think every loss hurts the same way. And so it doesn't change anything for us in terms of our preparation. We'll go back to work, we'll watch the film, we'll try to correct areas where we see fit. And then we just try to get better and get ready for Phoenix.
We'll go to Christian, then Mia, then Julia.
Coach, you got your first technical foul in the fourth quarter. What kind of led to that frustration and what did you see in that moment?
I thought Haley got fouled and it wasn't called. So
Mia, second row, you're right.
Coach, you're down in the third quarter. What do you tell your players when you're down like that? Is it you're trying to invoke some emotion in them to get the momentum going? Is it just a basketball thing? What's your approach?
I think that throughout the game and after the game, I think a lot of our mistakes are on us. And so from that standpoint, I think that you can still maintain confidence to know that a lot of it has to do with self-inflicted wounds. And so in the moment, you try to stay positive, but also try to have a sense of urgency in terms of what needs to be done, to finish out the game. And I thought at times we were able to do that, and at times we weren't. So it's a balance of that, and you just try to give them adjustments in areas of emphasis as the game goes as best as possible.
Julia, Naomi, then Chris.
Tyler, we've talked a lot about Haley today, but it seems pretty obvious that opposing teams on defense feel like the best way to kind of approach her is to try to physically dominate her at kind of a high point of attack. How do you want to see her countering that? Is it a strength thing? Is it what she's doing with her off-ball arm? Like what can she do to maybe alleviate and make some space?
Yeah, I don't think it's exclusive to Haley. I think all rookies kind of get that treatment when they first get into the league, especially those they're that ball dominant. And so for Haley, it's just a matter of experience and handling that pressure, understanding how to utilize her change of speeds. I talked about that before the game, and that's an area where she can really learn from Sloot. And so being able to utilize that to be able to elude pressure, but still keep us in our sets and everything is part of the learning curve for her. And again, we have confidence that she'll be able to do that. In the meantime, I think that just across the board that we got to do a better job of handling that pressure.
Naomi, front row on your left.
Coach, we've seen flashes of what this team is capable of, especially in the first half tonight. We've seen it throughout the other games. We're 11 games in now. What do you think it is that's gonna have to happen to take you guys over this hump and show your talent, I should say, in the win column?
Yeah, I think consistency has been kind of the theme the last few days. We're now a quarter of the way into the season, and at this point, teams pretty much know who you are for the most part. And now it's about us, not just talking about who we want to be and what we want to do, but now we got to go out and execute it. And so, the messaging has just been, nobody's going to give us anything in this league. Nobody's feeling sorry for us. The salute was going down. Nobody's feeling sorry for us that our record is what it is. We got to go out and we got to take what we want. And so that's the mindset, that's the messaging that we have to have. But it starts internally. It starts with us having the mindset that we're not going to put ourselves in a hole. And then we got to stop the bleeding when teams go on runs. It's a game of runs. Every team is going to go through it. We've had our moments where we've been on runs, and we've had our moments where the opponents have been on runs. And so, how we manage that throughout the flow of the game is on us. And we just got to continue to get better.
Last few will go Chris on your left, second row.
Coach, we saw in the first half, especially going up 12 into the break, when this team is in rhythm, how well you guys play. It felt like there's a lot of less thinking tonight. What do you think went into that first half and the rhythm that you guys got into?
Yeah, I think we came out with good energy. I think we came out with a good mindset, and we were able to kind of get to our spots and get what we wanted. We were defending, we were able to play out of our defense. And then, as the half went on, and then, obviously throughout the second half when it became a little bit harder to get stops, I thought that it affected us on the offensive end and vice versa. And I think that, as the physical fatigue wears on you, so does the mental when you're feeling that type of pressure for 90, for 40 minutes and for 94 feet. And so, again, that's where that toughness comes in, and we've shown glimpses of that throughout the year. We just again got to find that consistency.
Last couple will go Zachary, front row on your right.
Hey, Coach. Angel, Camila both finished with a double-double today. What is your assessment of them in terms of being able to gel together and work together and grow together?
Yeah, I think it's important. I think that cohesion is continuing to grow, especially on the offensive end. I think that they will both tell you that they're not satisfied with where they are, but there's improved growth, that we've seen. But in nights like this, it's a little it's bittersweet because you're able to see that in the flashes that they have with each other, but also it looks a lot better when it results in a win. And so that's the mindset that we have in the locker room. We understand the areas of growth that we've had and the areas of improvement that we've seen, but we want that to translate into wins. And so, I thought there was a lot of good moments tonight between both Camilla and Angel. But the most important thing is the win, and so we gotta continue to be all on the same page, all five, and really all 11, 12 on the roster.
Any more for Coach? Thank you.